And now it's time for Comfort is Cool with your host Angel and Mike, a weekly show covering topics related to your home cooling and heating system on Sunday 1450 and 1320.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuning in to Comfort is Cool. This is a local call-in radio show about air conditioning and heating and electrical.
And heating will be needing heating at some point
pretty soon
this year, but
pretty
right
soon.
now, not quite.
Well, it's coming. We got to prepare for it. You got to be prepared. Otherwise, you're going to be reacting to problems that you could have prevented. That's the biggest problem with air conditioning breaking down unexpectedly is you always forget about it when it's working, but when it's not working, it's when you remember that you forgot.
Really quick.
Yeah,
exactly.
But this show is we talk about air conditioning. We like to give people some advice, let them understand what to expect, and to make sure that they inspect what to expect when the technician comes out to their house to either do a service or maintenance. Even an installation, you should know exactly what the process is and what the measures that you can take in order to make sure that we maximize the efficiency on the system and the longevity of the system as well, because they're not cheap, man. The national average is $6,500, which is a lot of money, and there are incentives out there that will help you fit that investment into your budget, like our topic today. We're going to talk about FPL rebates, and I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today because the special is also going to be a good incentive for our consumers out there. And our special for today, if you call us and schedule a maintenance on your air conditioning system or a free estimate on your old air conditioning system, we're going to double your FPL rebate if you choose one of the higher efficient air conditioners that FPL gives rebates for. So not only will you get the FPL rebate, but we're also going to double it on top of that. So instead of $500, $600, $700, $800, $900, it'll be double that, or probably will be $1,000 range, which should make it, definitely a lot easier to swallow that investment.
It will definitely make it a lot more affordable, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I'm Angel. This is Mike. We come in here every week and we talk about air conditioning. We like to prepare our customers and our consumers out there with all the information that they need to make logical decisions.
Yeah, and we don't expect our customers to, and our listeners to understand and remember every single word that we say. But the old saying, you need enough information to be dangerous.
Correct.
And that's really all you need when it comes to air conditioning. You don't need to know exactly how the circuit functions. You don't need to know what amp draw is. You don't need to know all this. When the technician comes out to your home, and one of the benefits of our company is that when the technicians do come out, it's an educational experience. They go through the system. They explain to you what the system is drawing. They show you on the unit where it states what it's supposed to be drawing. So when the next person comes out, whether it's us or someone else, you'll know that whether they're doing what they're supposed to be doing or not. And like I said, you don't have to remember the exact process, but know enough to be dangerous and know that you're not being taken advantage of, that the company is actually doing their job, that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're doing a thorough inspection of the system or a thorough cleaning of the system, or if they're coming out for repair, that they're not just selling you something that you don't really need. There are ways on most of these units that on the outside of them that it tells you what you're supposed to be looking for. And if you're untrained and you don't know where to look on these, you will never know that. But
it's not rocket science. I agree, man.
It's not. And with the maintenances, they're going to show you exactly what you need to be looking for. And you just remember 2 or 3 little points on that, and it makes you dangerous.
Well, the biggest purpose for preventative maintenance is to know where the system has been in order to know where it's going to go. You have to know and track how the system is operating on a year-to-year basis. The air conditioner is going to come on and shut down over 6,000 times on any cooling season. That's a lot of runtime. That's the equivalent of you taking a car out for a 70,000-mile run and not doing anything to it, and then expecting it to go for another 70,000-mile run without nothing. I mean, that oil is probably tar inside that engine.
If it's even there anymore, it's probably burned out.
You know what I mean? So it's important. We got to, just like you do to a car, you got to rotate the tires. You got to clean the filters. You got to clean the coils, which is the actual lungs of the air conditioning system. This is what makes the magic happen. It absorbs the humidity out of the house, and then it releases all the conditioned air that makes you cool in the house.
What's funny to me, and You're exactly right. The most important part of that system to be cleaned are those coils, because the coil outside, it gets rid of the heat from the Freon when it's compressed. The coil on the inside gets rid of the heat from inside of your house. And if that's the only area where the actual heat exchange or something like that happens. So if those aren't clean, which 9 times out of 10, when we show up to a home, the outside coils have not been cleaned properly. And you cannot expect that system to function even halfway correct when those coils aren't clean.
Correct, man. And, Mother Nature doesn't help it either. The rains and the winds, even the lawn guys, they come out there and they're blowing stuff throughout the yard, and all of that stuff gets caught up in that coil on the outdoor system. And a lot of times you don't see it. It's not visual to you because it's a 2.5, 3-inch coil. And a lot of that stuff is crammed in between those fins, and if you can't move the air properly, then the efficiency reduces, and your contactor comes on with a lot more amps. Your capacitor is being trained a lot faster, and all of these parts are what you're going to wear and tear on the system. And then when they get weak, then it's going to affect all the bigger components like your fan motors and your compressors. So routine repairs and routine maintenance will prevent you from having to spend a lot of money on air conditioning. Yeah, I mean,
breakdowns
you only get
from the small maintenance side.
You only get 1 year labor from the manufacturer. You can't, unless you purchase an extended warranty on the labor side of the warranties, you're not going to get more than 1 year. So it's imperative. It's important that you maintain the air conditioning. You find somebody that's reliable that will come out there and actually clean the air conditioner, and also educate you on how the air conditioner has been running. Not just come out there and tell you, hey, everything's working fine, and hope for the best, and then 2 weeks later the air conditioner fails.
And leave a blank invoice, and we all know that's the people who listen to the show know that's my pet peeve.
Yeah,
invoice.
We don't want to see your vein come out of your forehead.
No, not at all.
So let's not talk about that.
That invoice, if there are not numbers on there of pressure readings, temperature readings, all that stuff, it's very, very important. And that not only for your information, but for the next technician that comes out to your home.
Correct.
If he doesn't know what it was doing the last time that somebody was out there, then how is he going to know how it's functioning? The difference has changed since the last time someone was out there. You can't. It's just basically, okay, well, it's here, but I don't know how it got here.
Correct. And most people don't worry about it until there is a problem, and that's the reason why our industry has the reputation it has, is because we don't hold our people accountable. As consumers, we need to hold these technicians accountable and ask the right questions and understand what people are recommending or what they're telling you that you need or what you should have. You have to have all the information in order to make a logical decision. Otherwise, you might as well write a check and throw it in the garbage for whatever they're asking you for. Don't just believe what people are telling you. I used to get annoyed with some consumers when they offer you a bottle of water at the front door. Let me earn that a little bit first.
Absolutely. Let's
make sure that I'm the person that you're looking for, that is coming here to make sure that your needs are satisfied. And then after I'm sweating and dirty and nasty, I'll take a glass of water. You know what I mean? But you can't just trust anybody that comes in your house. It may seem a little harsh, but it's true. There's just as many bad people as there are good people out there, and unfortunately, you can't determine between the two unless it's very blatantly obvious.
Yeah, people need to earn that level of trust, instead of just
and respect.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And it doesn't necessarily mean from company to company. Just because one person in a company is a great person and a great employee doesn't mean the next employee that comes out is going to be a great person and a great employee as well. So even though it's your existing company that you've been using for 5-10 years, if the guy that's coming out is subpar, you need to be there with him to find out or see that he is subpar, and don't give him that bottle of water.
Not yet.
Yeah,
let him earn
exactly.
it first.
Let him earn it. And if he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, then ask him to leave.
Yeah, and if there are any AC technicians listening, I'm not saying that the customer's not to take care of you. Just earn the right for somebody to take care of you. You know what I mean? I'm all about consumers helping you out and giving you a bottle of water or whatever. You should be prepared for your job anyway. It's hot. It's going to be hot all day. You're going to be working outside. I used to carry a cooler around with some drinks in it just to make sure that I was in tip-top shape to be able to provide the level of service that people are expecting. So it's important, guys. Just make sure that you're doing what's right for the customer, not what's right for you. Make sure that you understand what the customer's needs are, and ask the question: what is it that will satisfy you? What about your air conditioning system that I can improve, or any problems that I can make go away? Is there any hot spots in the house? And you know, these are the questions you should be asking because you don't live there.
There are people with allergies in the home,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. You know, just so you can know if Susie has allergies and she lives in a certain part of the house, and when she comes out of her room, she's fine, but when she goes to her room and she wakes up in the morning, she's horrible. There may be something going on in that room, and without asking these questions to you as a consumer, you're thinking that everything's fine. It's just Susie. Well, it may not be Susie. It may be something that's going on. And without them asking these questions, and without you bringing up these concerns to the technician, most of the time they're not going to get addressed because that technician does have a job to do. He has to get there. He has to clean it, and it's not his only job for the day. But at the same time, you deserve the amount of time that it takes to get your system taken care of 100%.
The greatest part about air conditioning is that there is no in between. It's either working or it's not working. Whether it's working for you is the question that you might ask, and you want to know whether it's working efficiently. And that's what I mean by it working for you. If it's got power to it, it's going to come on. If it doesn't, then it won't come on. So there is no in between. The air conditioner is not going to come on and maybe not cool right now. It's not working if it's running and it's not cooling you correctly. So it's important that you have somebody come on and check it. You know, if one side of the house is cooler than the other side of the house, that doesn't mean that the air conditioner is working. You don't call the air conditioning company and say the air conditioner is working, but part of the house is not. No, it's there's a problem with the air conditioning system, and you should have somebody come out there and evaluate it. That's basically it. But so today's topic is FPL rebates. We're talking about replacing air conditioners. This is one of the things that most people will dread as a homeowner. You don't. That's the second biggest purchase that you can make next to your roof. Is replacing the air conditioning system in your house. So it's important that you take the right measurements to make sure that you make the right decision for you and your family. You know, buying an air conditioner is a big decision. It really is, and you should use all of the tools that not only the air conditioning contractors provide for you, but also FPL. FPL has a lot of good information on their website, including a buying guide where you can go in there and plug in the exact system that you have for by tonnage and SEER rating, and then go and look at what it will take to purchase a 14 SEER system versus the 15 SEER system versus a 20 SEER system. It'll actually calculate how much money and energy you're going to save depending on which system you purchase. And that will help you understand what your budget is going to be for the next 10 to 15 years if you choose the right contractor and they do a good job for you.
And just to bring that back a little bit, you know, not to backtrack, but that all comes from, you know, making a decision on who your air conditioning company is going to be during the maintenance.
Correct.
And if the air conditioning company that's in your home right now that's coming out is not providing all this information to you and overwhelming you with information when they come to your home, give Ain Cooling a call.
Yes, 941-926-6969. That's 941-926-6969. If you have any questions, you want to talk to us here on the radio, you're more than welcome to call us here, 1-866, I'm sorry, 252-1450. That's 1-866-252-1450. You can call us and ask any questions that you may have, any information that you thought wasn't pretty accurate. I promise you, if I don't know the answer, I know where to find the answer, and we can get it to you. It's very important. It's important to know what you're talking about and to prepare people with enough information for them, like you said, to be dangerous. I'm glad you mentioned that earlier because we actually had an experience with a customer that did have enough information to be dangerous and probably protected himself from doing business with a contractor that wasn't very legit. In fact, he used a home warranty company to get this lead provided to him, and it basically just blew up in his face. I mean, the guy just bought a house and had this company come out. Actually, he had us come out and evaluate the system, and we told him a 6-year-old air conditioner needed some cleaning. We did a good maintenance for him, gave him a great report on the air conditioning system. I wish he would have taken advantage of our no breakdown guarantee because apparently during one of the storms, his capacitor failed. And he called a different company thinking that maybe we didn't evaluate the system properly. And unfortunately, the other company came out and they looked at the air conditioner, saw it was just a capacitor and either switched the wires on purpose or I'm not sure, can't prove that, but the compressor was shorted out completely by switching wires on a capacitor. This is very common, unfortunately, and it's disgusting that it's still continuing to happen out here in the state of Florida. But be prepared. Be wary about the people that you have in your house, and pay attention. Look over their shoulders. The guy that blew up the compressor, the guy was a little iffy about the report that he got from this guy, and he asked him for an estimate on the new system, and kind of him-hawed about it and said, "Are you going to be shopping around?" And when he said that, the technicians kind of got defensive with him and told him, "Well, go ahead and get your other prices, and then call me, and I'll give you a price." So he kicked him out of the house and asked us to come back out there and take a look at it. And it's blatantly obvious. We can't prove it, but it's blatantly obvious. 6-year-old compressor or 6-year-old system, and we had a report that was running fine. Only needed the capacitor, which is very possible because with all the surges, and we talked about this here on the radio before, power surges can be detrimental to the air conditioning system and their wear and tear parts like a capacitor, which is a simple fix. I mean, it would have cost him less than $200 to get this thing back up and running, and now he has to purchase a new compressor or an air conditioner. I think he saw the air conditioning system because his compressor was out of warranty, and he just purchased the house, and he didn't want to have to deal with that ever again. So,
exactly, and unfortunately, and it's like Angel says, when you have a good contractor, and something goes wrong, give them the chance to come in and try to see what's going on with it. Like I said, I don't know whether it was him or his wife made the phone call.
The best part about that is, I talked to the guy after Eric went out there and talked to him, and I explained to him, our no breakdown guarantee, and we would have came out there and replaced the capacitor at no charge to him. For free, just because you gave them the report that everything was working fine. And that's a cost of doing business, unfortunately. Sometimes you have to do things like that in order to keep your consumers happy. And it's the right thing to do, unfortunately. It is. It really is. It's worth the investment of the capacitor to keep his customer happy so he can tell his neighbors and his families and friends, because he's new to the area. So, we got to welcome him with open arms and make sure that he feels comfortable about where he just purchased a new house at. Not have this. he wasn't even completely moved in yet. It was insane. I even offered him to put him up in a hotel, but I said, "Man, I got so much work. I'm packing. I don't think we could do that." So, but we got out there and we got him cooling right away, and he was definitely happy for it. I hope everything's working fine, and we followed up with him earlier in the week, and yeah, everything's good, man. He's happy, and unfortunately, he was forced to make a decision or spend money that he probably didn't have to.
But he didn't have to. No. And unfortunately, and that's the elephant in the room is that there are these technicians out there that will go out and destroy your system when there's nothing wrong with it. They will tell you that there's things wrong with something and there's nothing wrong with it. And if you're just trusting them to go out there and you're not standing over the shoulder, because the bottom line is if he had gone outside with this other company's technician when they came out, he would not have been able to do what he did, because he would have blatantly seen him crossing wires and causing this problem. That's why we tell you, follow that technician around.
Yeah,
whether it's our company or a different company, it doesn't matter. This is your home. These are your things. Don't trust someone in your home unless you're with them 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more with that. But that's one of the things that we like to talk about is to make sure that when you are with the technician, you're asking questions and you understand exactly what he's doing, because once you turn the breaker on and your wires are crossed, you would have known that there was something wrong. I mean, that thing sparks and it pops and it blows. I mean, if you ever heard your compressor blow, in some cases it blows the leads right from the side of the compressor, and nothing but a bunch of smoke and gas comes out of the air conditioner. So it's important that you pay attention to the service providers that come out there, and you do your due diligence on your homework, and make sure that you got a reliable contractor. If you use the big box stores or a home warranty company, understand that sometimes these companies are choosing contractors that are not too busy for a reason. They're available right away because nobody else is using them, unfortunately.
And a lot of times, too, a lot of the companies, not all of them, but a lot of companies that do go through those home warranties, you're getting sometimes the lowest bidder.
Correct. Or somebody, the dispatcher knows the guy, or there's some roots in there, and people know. You know what I mean? So it's important. Choose an air conditioning provider that you can call it. You know exactly where they are, their office, and make sure that they're in town as well too. Because if you're using somebody from Tampa or Fort Myers or somewhere outside of the general area, it's going to be hard to get things handled and taken care of, because most companies are not worried about consumers that are complaining. You know, they're gonna hopefully hope that you give up on trying to reach them and move along. You know what I mean? And that's not fair to our consumers. So very important. Let's twist this around back to the positiveness of this topic today of doubling your FPL rebate with Ann Cooling Services. If you're in the market for a new air conditioning system, or if you don't know if you're in the market for a new air conditioning system, your air conditioner is between 8 and 15 years old. It's probably not a bad idea to replace your air conditioning system. You may not have to, but in some cases you may be paying for a new air conditioning system through your energy consumption in the house, and FPL helps you through that. I mean, there are some calculators on their website that will help you understand whether you should buy a new air conditioning system or not. And on their website it states it very clear, and I've said this many times before, but 50% or more of your annual electric bill comes from your air conditioning system.
Yep.
It's right on their website. This is the energy company telling me this. So it's true. It really is. That's why they want you to buy the higher efficient air conditioners, and they'll give you money to buy a higher efficient air conditioner, because it costs them less to be able to provide you that energy. So it works hand in hand. And it really does.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that, and this is the explanation that I got as far as, why would a power company reward me for upgrading and saving less, spending less money with them? What ends up happening?
This is the right thing to do.
No, the bottom line is that it's going to cost them more money. That's the bottom line. That's reality.
Yeah.
What happens is that at 5 o'clock every day, when everybody gets home, they switch on the air conditioners because they've been off all day, which is a bad thing. But we won't even go into that right now. But what happens is, when that happens, they end up blowing out these huge compressors at FPL, or damaging their equipment because of the immediate load that's put on. If your system uses less power, it's a less strain on their system, and it's less likely that they're going to have to replace these multi-million-dollar compressors and things like that they actually have that generate all this power. It's one of those things that by helping you as a consumer, they help themselves. And at the end of the day, that's why they're doing it.
Works hand in hand. The higher efficient air conditioner runs at a slower pace, uses less power, and it maintains the efficiency of the house. It maintains the humidity level low. So you can set the air conditioner to a higher temperature and still feel comfortable in the house. So that the manufacturers are getting smarter, and they're working with the power companies to make sure that these higher efficient air conditioners are going to stick around long enough to be helpful to the consumers and to the energy providers. You know what I mean? So it's important. Even on the website, there's some tips on there that will help you understand and maintain the comfort level in the house. You can't go from 82 to 74 and expect the air conditioning system to be efficient. You can't do that. Don't set your air conditioner to 84 degrees during the day. It doesn't make any sense. You much rather it be pretty consistent throughout the day, so it doesn't turn on as often and run for as long.
Because you're going to build up a massive amount of humidity in the home, which is the enemy, and that's really what you turn the temperature down for, to get rid of the humidity.
Correct. And the higher the humidity levels, the higher the chances of probability of growth and mildew and nasty stuff growing, not only in the air conditioning system, but in your walls, in your furniture, anything that could be a breeding grounds for environmental growth. So it's important. A higher efficient air conditioner running at a slower pace, it's okay for it to run throughout the day and maintain the humidity level low. At 78 degrees, you'd be a lot more comfortable with the humidity level at 41% than 72 degrees and the humidity level at 70%.
Absolutely.
It works against each other, so it's important to understand what your comfort level is in the house, and make sure that you take the right measurements to maintain the efficiency and to prolong the life of the air conditioning system. And FPL has some great tips on the website as well. It tells you right on there, keep your thermostat at 78 degrees with the fan switch on auto. That's a great tip. Especially if you're not home. Keep it at 78 degrees and then bring it down to 76. Don't jump 4 degrees. 2 is okay. 4 is ridiculous. If you're at 74 degrees, that's your comfort level, then turn it up to 76 maybe. and then bring it down to 74. But don't go on more than 2-degree increments on the thermostat, because you're working against yourself. If you don't own any FPL stock or any power company stock, then don't do it. Don't do it. You already get enough money.
If you do, the return is not that great.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
And one of the things too, since we were touching on the FPL, they send out email updates every now and then too. And one of the things that I noticed on one of the last ones was that they discussed, leaving the fan switch to on. And we go into homes where people say, well, I leave the air conditioner, the fan switch to on, so it runs all the time, so it circulates the air. And one of the stories that FPL had on the website was they debunked that, and they basically said, no, it's a bad idea, because what it does is it rehumidifies the house.
Correct.
And
it's just cycling stale air.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's cycling 100%. The stale air throughout the house. It doesn't make any sense if the compressor's not running. So don't do that. Don't do that. Turn your ceiling fans off. If you're not at home, if you're not in the room, turn those off. You don't really need them moving around stale air. It doesn't make any sense. The ceiling fan is only going to make you feel cooler. It's not going to cool you down. It's really not. While it's running, it's just like standing in front of a regular fan with your body wet. You're going to feel cool, but the minute that your body dries, you're going to feel that heat blowing across your body. Maintaining proper airflow throughout your system and throughout your house. Understanding that if you have a hot spot in your house, something is wrong. There's no efficiency there. You're decreasing the air conditioning system's efficiency. So fix it. Get it fixed.
And the point with that is that the air conditioner may be working at 100%.
Correct. And it might cost less to fix it than to pay extra on your energy bill. Okay. So pay attention. Pay attention to the cost, what you're spending, so you know what the logical decision is. You don't want to call an AC guy out there because he's going to sell you something. But guess what? If you call the right guy, he's going to tell you that you do what you need to do and what the minimal fix is to make sure that the air conditioner is being maximized on its efficiency. So you just go on FPL website and surf around and see what you can find that will help you make a better decision in picking a new air conditioning system. And if you call AN Cooling Services at 941-926-6969, that's 926-6969, we will double your FPL rebate on the air conditioner that you choose. So,
and that's something that we've never offered that before.
Correct.
And one of the reasons, schedule a maintenance with us. We'll come out, we'll take a look at the system, we'll go through it with you, hold your hand, walk you through the whole system, find out if you do in fact need to have a replacement. If it does, we can show you on paper how much it's costing you. And if it does make sense to do it, we'll go on the website with you, or some of the guys actually have a sheet from FPL. We'll show you what the FPL rebate is, and we're going to double that.
We can educate each other.
Absolutely.
And if you're around the Robarts Arena this weekend, we will be at the home show, so you can stop there and talk to us as well. Robarts Arena Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So come by and check us out. AN Cooling Services will be out there. 941-926-6969. Give us a call and schedule your free estimate or your maintenance today and today only. WFPL rebate. You've been listening to Comfort is Cool on the new Sunny 1450-1320.
Have a good weekend, guys.